Right, I've routed a bit of a snow scene out here. You'll see it come together as I go along. Just sketched it out. So if you have a look at that, if you're going to go at this one, it's not the easiest of ones, but if you're going to have a look at that and sketch something out similar to that. And if you watch it to end, you'll be able to see and probably sketch from the end painting rather than copying the sketch from there. Might even be easier. Right, so I've just wetted my paper and then I'm just going ultramarine blue, that's all there is. I'm just coming down that sky there like that, just like that. I think that's enough. Let's go a little bit stronger just on top bit there. Yeah. And I think a tiny bit stronger. Stop there, that's it, that's enough, that's sound. And then I've got some background trees. A bit of loose hair on that. Some background trees in here then. Coming all the way across. Something like that. All the way across. In fact, if I go to, that's plenty to just go to there, because there's some stuff that will come in front of that. So let's take this down into here, just down to where my pencil line is. And where I'm just checking, I'm not going. Yeah, that's okay. Come across there, something like that. Like I say, I ain't got to worry too much over here. All that's going to be covered up, so a bit more up there like that. Try and drag some of that paint up there. That's looking niceness. Quite distant all this is. Let's maybe get a bit more. Let's see, put some more paint on my brush and just a few slight different colours. I'll alter my colours slightly. That's basically ultramarine, this colour, with a bit of burnt umber in it. And then I've just added a tiny bit of yellow in a little bit to alter it slightly. But it's basically just that. That don't look bad. I'm just thinking, I wonder if, while it's wet, I can get some little dark sort of lines in. So let's get burnt umber and ultramarine together, so I get a really dark colour. Let's see if this will work. Just a couple of little lines in like that, look, just for little some little tree trunks and stuff. It might be too wet to do it. If it dissolves in too much and fades away, it don't matter, so I can just put a couple more in when it's dried. See what happens. It might dissolve away too much, but that's not looking bad at that. Right. So there we are. That's that. Right. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get two brushes. I'm going to wet one, and that's going to be my softening brush. And then my other, I'm going to get some paint on it, and that's going to be my painting brush. Right. Let me just see. I'm going to come in. I'm going to turn this now, what just looks like nothing, into land. And I'll show you how to do it. I might even put my reflections in as well. Right, so this bottom bit here is really sort of quite sort of grubby looking colour. Something like that. Let's do that, and let's come in with my softening brush and just soften some edges. That's it. It's more or less dried instantly. Well, that's it, it's just softening a few edges. Pop a bit in. Make it a bit, that's better. There, let's try that. Back to my other brush. Into there like that. That's it. Something like that. And soften a few of them edges. The edges aren't softening very well. It's dry. It's like just drying instantly. not to worry. Oh, that's it, it's softening. That's niceness. There, that's all right. And then, in this top bit here, to the brush, into the ultramarine blue, and I didn't brush it. I didn't wash my brush, so it's going to be slightly muckied ultramarine blue because it's got a bit of that grubby colour in it. Right, a little bit like that. Softening brush, soften. It's quite far away, so the further away things are, the softer the edges this tends to be. So that's a little tip to remember there. Well, I've done a snow scene because it's just, Christmas has just gone. So, and what a Christmas it's been. Doofus, the daft stepbrother, he's only put real mince in mince pies, hasn't he? He's made some mince pies and just chucked real mince in. So they were disgusting, as you can imagine, and that. So that then blends into the, it gets like, oh no, I think you can tell, I think there's a bit there, sort of, something like that. Let's just soften that like that. That's looking pretty good. And then, I'm just wondering, I've got this dark colour here, I think I'm going to blend in, go back into that grubby colour, and I haven't washed my brush. Again, I just went straight into it, so this will be slightly more blue than that bit. I'm just going to soften in some of these bits from up here like that, look. I think that'll niceness. Yes, like that. Again, softening in brush. There we are. Niceness. And then I'm thinking, I don't know how far to go across. Let's go across there. Not far, shall I go across with this? Take it right across there, just in case any of this does show through what I paint on top of it. Back to the blue. Just blend some soft blue. That paper's wet now, so I'll soften it then in. Just some bits back there like that. That'll do. Most of that, probably all of that will be covered, but just in case. Right, now, I'm thinking now, let's get back into that mucky colour, because I'm going to need a reflection. So I think I'm going to leave a little sort of white line in there, thin white line if I can. Something like that. Soften just above that. So soften that in. Then tad more blue paint into that colour and just see how that sort of goes. Paint some of the top of that hill in, so I'm going like painting diagonal that way, you see. And then soften some of that in as well. Like that. Some of them blue shades in there. And that, soften that right, quite pale that, not that much paler than that. That's it. Niceness, that's that slight reflection up there. Then when I put my blue up to there, my blue will be darker, leaving that lighter, so I'll have a lighter reflection, reflecting some of that snow up there. That's my plan. Right, there's a couple of little trees in there, but I'll let that dry and I'll paint some. There's a few trees that's come forward a little bit there, so I'll let that dry and then paint them. You see what I mean. Right, I'm going to paint a few closer trees in here. They're just slightly closer than them, right? And I'm going to what I'll do, I'll paint one so you can see how I do it. So this video is going to go on for about 3 hours. So I'll paint one so you can see where I'm on with, and then swap to a smaller brush now, and then you'll know how to do it, and you can paint a few in. Right, so try and bring that right up here. Right, so that comes up to about there. It's that little bit closer than these others, so it sort of comes up there. Comes up a bit in it. What did Adam say on the day before Christmas? It's Christmas Eve. Oh, that's genius, isn't it? Genius. Not just an artist. There we are. Something like that. And I'm going to paint a few of these, you see. But once you know how to do them, you can do as many as you want in it. Put a few more in. So that's slightly bigger look. And then what I'm going to do, from the branches on that, all them tiny little twigs, I'm just going to get a really thin paint look and just do something like that. Even that's a bit strong, so I've just washed my brush completely and I'm going to soften that because even that looks a bit strong. So these are twigs that are all the way back there. There, you can just see them twigs now at that. See what I mean? That one's slightly closer. I'll tell you what I might do as well. Just right at the foot of that, just have a slightly stronger shadow on that, and then get some water on a brush and just soften that, because I don't want that to soften it in like I did rest of shadows. There you are, look, that's about perfect there. Just soften it in. There. So what you'll do, I'm just going to put them sort of, well, you'll see in a minute, along this side sort of here. But like I say, that's showing you how to do one. So rather than my video taking ages, I'll do some off video. Right, got some coffee this time. That is nice. Right, I'm going to put like a block of trees in here now. Tell you what I'm going to do though. Get just some water, and just in places, there's bits of twigs and stuff just coming through, so I'm just going to put a bit of water in so it just bleeds through in places from that sort of line there. Something like that, that'll do. Right, now then. So I'm coming in from about there. This colour, I've got Bontumber lemon yellow. That's what that is. And it's just like whatever grubby. There might be some added grubby stuff that just happened to be on my palette as well. It mixed in with that. But it's not bleeding in. It's supposed to be bleeding down here a bit. Might have to get an helping hand in a minute. Yeah, that's what colour I've got on this bit. But I'm going to dip into some others in a minute. So that's that. And that's coming right the way across here. Yeah. Right, let's start dipping into some other colours now. So let's get some other colour in there now. That where I've wet it, it hasn't bled it out. I was thinking it would bleed down there with water, but it hasn't. But not to worry, don't matter. That's it. I've got some a little bit of ultramarine blue and some more Bontumber. It's just been added to this brush, what I just haven't cleaned yet. Then I'm going to do the same again. Add some more. A bit more of that. Tell you what, let's have a bit more of that Bontumber in, like that. Put that in there, and a bit there. And then go into a bit of that ultramarine blue. Put that in there, and there. And above there, like that. Nice. And then some more blue. I'll have a really bluey patch there. So when this all bleeds in together, it looks more interesting than you see with all them different colours mixing. Right. I'm thinking, well, that's wet. Should I? You know what? I'm going to come back into that yellow colour without washing my brush. And just add some extra in here. It looks like little grasses and things in there, what's nice, because that's a good That is what's in there, bits of grasses and things. Then I'm just going to get little, and just add some tiny little bits of twigs and sticks and things in there. Just like that, little bits. Just like that. See, there's an hair come off my brush there. Could leave that on and that'll look like a little tree trunk or something. Right, now then, back into some more Pontumber. Up there like that. Some of that blue. Tell you what, let's pop in a bit of light red. Bit of light red in there. Oh, let's warm it up a bit, bring it a little bit closer, and then back to some blue. So this is still quite distance, so I don't want it too close, you see. Right, now I need a bit of water and just get a sort of muddy colour now. Just a sort of muddy colour. We all went bit of a mixture of all them colours there, and just sort of a bit of a muddy colour. Right, what I'm going to need to do now, let's get this brush, you just water on this brush now, and I'm just going to bring that right, where am I? Let's have a look. There's a bit, it comes right over here, this does, but I want soft edges on this now, so I've just stuck some water in there. Right, I'll get some more of that colour. So that comes right through to about there. There's a bush there and it's quite soft. So that's that. Not that soft. Need a bit more paint than that. Let's mix a bit more paint up. Ah, niceness. Well, there, aren't we? There. That's it. It's a nice colour. Oh, that comes sort of up here then. Niceness. I need to just make sure that paper's wet all the way up there. So actually I might bring that one up a tiny bit more than that, a bit bigger. That's it, that's better. Niceness, niceness. And there's a bit sort of, I think it sort of seems to come, some more paint come down a bit slightly there. Just sort of, yeah, down a bit there, and then back up again here. Just try and break them edges up a bit. I'll just show you this. Look at the state of the end of that brush. It's battered, so don't throw your old brushes away because they're good for doing these sort of soft edges. So it sort of comes down a bit there again then, and then sort of back up about there. Let's make sure there's plenty of water up there for that. Definitely want a soft edge, and I'm using them spiky bits, look, to get that soft edge on there, look. Niceness. That comes right down. Yeah, let's add a tiny bit more brown into that. Just keep altering your colour. That just looks nice when you keep altering. Let's comb. Make sure I've got plenty of water in this area here, look, so I get that soft edge. That's it, all that brown colour's looking nice. Then let's go about like something like that. Right, let's get some blue in there. Niceness, look at that. Some blue in down here. Mix into all this because this is all one thing. Niceness. Grab some of that water from there, mix into there. Let's get some more blue back here, a bit more blue in there. Down into there, a bit brown. Something like that, that's nice. Oh yeah, I like that. See, yeah, what we got? Let's have a look into this one. Let's give that a bit of a scrub there because it's dried. I want this all to be blending in. Right, so let's pop some bit of light red in. It's a bit closer here. A bit more light red in there, look. There. So some more blues in here. More blues coming into there like that. Oh. I think, is that going to be dark enough? Yeah, I think it is. And let's just have a couple of, just right back in this background, just a couple of bits where there's a bit of light hitting some of these trees. Give me a few twigs and stuff. They're going to be in background. That's it, that's all right. And that is that. We'll let that dry. Right, I'm going to put some closer trees in there then. So, basically about here. I'll put a group in about here, and then what I think I'll do is I'll do how low down do they come? Sort of fade into the stuff here. So, yeah, something like that. I think what I'll do is I'll do a few like this, and then I'll cut the camera and do it rest so my video don't go on for like 10 hours, and then, but you'll know how to do them. So I think that's what I'll do. I told Doofus over Christmas that Santa broke his leg. so he couldn't come. Doofus is 45-year-old, and this upset him. What kind of 45-year-old still believes in Santa? Having said that, younger viewers, Santa is real. Yeah, he hasn't broke his leg really. No, it's his neck. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. His sound. He's as good as gold. He's all right. He's in good health. He'll be coming every year. It's Christmas is gone anyway. He's already been. But Santa's so magic, isn't he? Younger viewers. So don't worry. It won't break his leg. Right, let's have a look at that. Oh, yes, that's another dip into me thing. Yeah, well, niceness. These are all just my little branches coming up. These are slightly closer than them at the back there, you see. Well, this brush is working good for these tiny little branches. Thought I might have trouble and I had to go to a smaller brush, but I haven't. Trouble is with smaller brushes, so they don't hold hardly any paint, so you have to keep re-dipping every few seconds. I bought Doofus a comb for Christmas. He said he'll never part with it. You're not. You've got a slaphead, Doofus. I bought him a broken drum. Oh, he can't beat it. I'll stop. I'll concentrate on painting and stop telling bad jokes. Let's have a let's bring some out there off that one, I think. Oh, baby, that's nice. Nice, let's thicken that up a bit. Something disappearing, and that's better. There. That's that one coming out of there, look. I'm not really looking at the trees on my reference photo. I'm just sort of looking where I think a branch will look nice. You don't have to be too much of a slave to your reference photo. You can change things, you can move things about, you can move trees around. On my reference photo, these trees here, there's some more here, but it blocks that back view. So to lead your eye in, I've just left them out there, you see. And that's what you do when you're painting. You sort of do what you want. See, some of this bit here, look, I think I'm going to stick a few little background twigs in there and all. See that? And what I'll do, I'll probably do it off camera. I'll probably do a little bit of that right in this background here as well. Put some little twigs and things in background. Yeah. Maybe some little. Let me get this tiny little brush now. So I think just in here there'd be tiny little bits of twigs and stuff. So let's put some of that in. See, this is a tiny little brush, and I have to keep reloading every few seconds. It's a pain, but you do get these nice fine lines. Yeah, some little twigs and stuff just in these background bits, look. And we're not going for too much detail because this is miles back. Something like that. Another dip into there. Niceness. Some bits here, there, and you know what? Let's do like I'm going to do up there in a minute. Let's pop some little tiny little twigs in like that. Just like that, look. They're tiny little twigs and stuff. Pick some of them in there and all. Tiny little twigs and things. And then we're going to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to dampen this up here, on this area. I'll dampen it. Niceness. And then pop some tiny little, there are all my tiny little twigs, you see that? Niceness. Wash my brush and soften. Soften that in. Oh, maybe there's a bit more in. A little bit more in again. A little bit higher. Wash my brush. Soften. And a bit more. We'll put a bit more in. Oh, I like that. That's nice. And just soften a bit more, just a tiny bit more. And then I think we'll be. Yeah, I like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? Well, maybe it's a bit out that bit there, a little bit there. Just coming out of there a tad more. That's it, and in there. There, let's leave that at that. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, so basically now I'll put some background twigs in these places around here and some more of that. And you've watched me do that, so you know, obviously, if I do some here a bit bigger, it's exactly the same technique. Exactly the same technique as I did on them as well, really. So rather than be here for 3 hours watching me do every little bit, it's its best way. Right, so I've added all this in here. And I put some, this here at the top where your snow is here, that were exactly the same technique as that. So I've used some of them cream colours in there and off there and put a few bits of that in. That's where there's bits of grasses and stuff growing fruit snow, and some of these blue shadows, same colour blue at sky, I've put some of them in and all. Right, so I'll show you how I've done that. I'm going to do it there on that last little bit there, and I'm going to put I've got the reflection of that, this bit of land here, this bit here, in there. That's that little bit there. The water there is it's not going to be the blue from the sky reflected. It's going to be the grey from these background trees here. So I'm going to put that in now. So I think my best bet actually is to wet my background first. Just wet that across the top of there. So I get a nice soft edge. I need a soft edge on it. Yeah, something like that. Just to give me that soft edge. Right, let's try that. And then I'm coming down to the top of this snow here, you see. So that's that. I'm going to add, take it a tiny bit more blue here. That's nice. Down to there. Up into there, just about like that. That's it. And if I want to just soften that bit there a little touch, just with a damp brush. There, not a soft edge. There. So that my waterline's sort of there. And then there's that bit of snow reflecting there. And then that is the reflections of them distant trees there. So that's actually water. It'll show more when it's finished. I might get a bit more waterline in that background bit there and all, what'll help with it. Right, so that's that done. Right. So now what I did with this here, get two brushes again. I'll have one with paint on and one with just water on for dampness. Right, I did my lightest first. So I did sort of this, sort of yellow colour, creamy yellowy colour. I whacked that in first. That went in there, about like that. Then I went into, mixed some burnt umber into that. Come into this bottom bit a bit more. Yeah, into that. There's tiny bits of snow and that what's settled on this as well. So I'm leaving tiny little speckles of white. Then I'm going to go into some really dark brown. Like that. Yeah. And then I haven't bothered washing my brush. Just gone straight into some blue, what's given me a nearly black colour. Whap a bit of that in and all. Or some real darks. There. And that's that. That's it. Right, wash my brush. Now then, so up here, that yellowish colour again. Just in here, I'll add a bit of that yellowish colour there. A bit of creamy colour about there. Something like that. A bit there. Then I think I'll soften that in. Soften that all in, look, just like that. You can bring a bit, touch it to there if you want there, that's that. And then some brush again. So some blue shadow. Bit of blue shadow about there, something like that. I'll bring some down there and all. And then soften that in and all. There. Yeah. Niceness. Right, now I want a reflection now. I'm going to get that real dark colour here. I'll pop a bit more in there actually. And then a bit more in, come on this bottom bit here for a reflection. This is my reflection. Yeah, come from that to the dark brown. I may as well work backwards this time. Into that dark brown in there like that. Niceness. And then some of that creamish yellow colour. Leaving some little white speckles. Something about like that for that reflection. That's just a bit of reflection in that water there. And a bit of water line with that white gap in between there. Right, I think that's covered everything. So I've shown you how to do that bit by doing that. Fill that bit in there. Right. Yeah, I'm going to now pop in some dark stuff in here to reflect these trees. I think that's my next step. But I need that bit to dry fast. So I'll just let that, because I want that to stay as a reflection. I could do it staying a bit separate. So I'll let that dry. Right, I dried it with air dryer. Right, now then, let's have a look. Oh, I'm dropping brushes everywhere. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a damp brush again. And a brush with some colour on. Right. We'll start with a tad of this creamy yellow. This is my reflections now. Tad of that creamy yellow in there. Something about like that. I'll say a bit there. A tad of this blue. There's some blue bits up there, something like that. This is just representing reflection, a tiny bit of that stuff there. Something like that. And then I'm coming into this sort of reflection. Yeah, I'll come up to that there. To there. This is a bit darker now. That's it. Into that there. Niceness. Right, I think now, what do I need? I need to, I think, wet my paper across here. Get my wetting brush. So I've got that there's a reflection there of that, so I don't want to come into that. So let's come through to here, down into there. Right, something like that. I've got to reflect them trees there. Let's have a look. So let's get some just dark, brownish, creamish colour. So coming from about there into there. That's me. Going to be from that reflection on there, so I need to leave a bit there. And then this can be these trees up there, what's reflecting a little bit into there. Something like that. Right, now then, let's get some bit of blue in here now then. This is where it gets a bit stronger. A bit of that blue, a bit of light red, a bit of light red in there. Oh yes, very nice. Bit of blue, bit of light red. Let's have a bit Bontumber. Oops, not my thing. Say a bit of Bontumber. I'm not washing my brush in between, I'm just dipping and doing. It's a Bontumber right up to there. Something like that. Into there, a bit more blue. Into there. Probably need to leave a tiny bit of white on top of to represent that. Right, so come across here a bit more again. Something like that, something. Yeah, right, let's go back to a smaller brush again now. Get some, just drag this paint down now to top of this bit here. Look, this is where my land again. That's my land. Yeah, something like that. Soften this bit in. Let's get a bit of dab of water. Soften that bit in. Niceness. Right, here we've got a bit of snow and that, haven't we? Tiny bit of snow and that in there, so we'll let that represent a bit of snow in that corner there. There. Niceness. Let's get a bit of this yellow stuff in here. Oh, Doofus's stolen advent calendar. He got 25 days. Having that one. 25 days. 25 days. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going out of fashion, actually, advent calendars. Yeah. Their days are numbered. Let's have a look. I'm just leaning back and having a look now. Right, tell you what I think I'm going to do. Just get a damp brush now and just do a bit of softening around here. Softening both ways, in and out. Like I say, that's this bit here, leaving a couple of white bits because I want to represent a bit of that white snow on top of there, a bit of that reflection, you see. So I can even soften a bit of that way. Soften a bit through there from that one, and a bit through there. Something like that, I think. I think that's pretty good. Right, what I'm going to do now, where are we? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to pick this up and move it around and let this paint run round a bit. Might end up adding a bit more colour or whatever, but you get the gist of that. So you want a soft edge, so I wetted it first and did what I did. So I'm just going to move that around now, wiggle it about a bit, and then we'll move on to the next. Right, this is still a little bit wet, I'm going to come in and just put that sky in. I'm going to dampen that there. So on soft edge on that reflection there. That's a reflection, soft edge on that. That should be all right. And then I'm going to pull some sky in. So if I just dab that there, that'll give me my soft edge there. And then quite an hard edge on this bit because this is the foreground snow. And I can blend that into there, into there. Is that dark enough? It's a tiny tad darker, I'm thinking. Tiny tad darker. Something like that. And I'll just pull that. Actually, let's just dry my brush on tea towel and just come across there and soak up them that water there. And just pull that into there a bit. That's nice. That's all right. It's looking all right. Tell you what I might do. Just get this brush. It's quite hard-edged bristles, this one, and just soften that bit a bit because that's my reflection. So just want to soften. I've got a soft edge there. I want a soft edge here as well. So I'll just soften that a bit. There. See how that's softened that? Wash my brush. That's it. Use something with quite hard bristles to do that, because that's dried now, that bit. If that weren't dried, you could just use a soft bristle brush. Right, I think that'll do. So I'll let that dry now. Right, I'm back. Who's never hungry at Christmas? Turkey is always stuffed. Right, I've same technique as I did back here that I then did there. I've done here, just putting little blobs of paint in, softening in. I'm going to do it on this front here as well. Same as how I did the little reflections here. I've done them here exactly the same. Right, I'm going to put in a little like a little twig here. It's just a little twig. Let's go to. I've already got a brush, I think. There's plenty of paint mixed up. Bontumber and ultramarine. Just I'll take it right up like that. It's like a little. That's about it. It's like a little baby tree that's growing, and then there's quite a few little twigs and stuff in here as well. I want to lean in that way. Another one that way. And a few here as well. Just little bits of grasses and things poking through. Just the odd bit. Just seems to be in that bit there. That's about it. Nice, that's strong enough. You can see that's in front of that, can't you? So I think that's okay. Tell you what, let's really going to need to sort of reflection that as well. Something like that one's a bit lower there. Something like that, just reflection it. Probably comes down lower there. Something like that. I think it comes right down into sort of there. No, maybe there's even a couple of them sticks reflected. A little hint of it. Something about like that, because that goes beyond that white. Something like that. That's it. Maybe there's a bit of that. Reflection it. Something like that. That'll do. Don't get too carried away with that. Yeah, I think that's sound. Right, so that's that. Like I say, I might end up strengthening that up a tad. Then there's the technique I've done there with that. I think I'll go to that now and do a bit of that. Right, what brush shall I use? I want, you know what, where is it? I've got a sort of medium brush somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, that one. Bit of blue. I think what I'm going to do is I've got a bit of shadow in my picture there. Can't really help it because it's too dull in here to paint that it. Right, so what I'm going to do, go in like that, pop a few in like that, wash my brush out, soften off, soften them all off. Softening off at the top bit of it. So really, what I'm doing there, by softening off at that top bit, I'm negative painting, because I'm not painting that bit there, I'm painting this white bit there that's coming up and over. So that's really negative painting. Come in there like that. All bits there. Brush, soften off the top bit. See, if you're in oil paints, you'd probably paint all this that blue colour and then put them white highlights in there. They're the highlights, you see. Some bits going off edge at page. That always looks good. That's it. Some soften some bits in, something like that. Not looking bad, is it? Let's just sit back and have a look. So that's that technique for that. So I'm going to let that dry. I might even do a bit more of that when it's dried. If it's too light, I'll do it a bit stronger, build it up a bit. Then I'm just going to put some little twigs and things in, and then we've been nearly done. Right, so I filled that bit in. Same thing, just putting a blob in, softening it off. I did a blue, then a grey blue, then a creamish yellow, and then some Burnt Umber on its own, letting each layer dry in between and building up glazes. So it's just painting, blue, soften it off, painting again on top when it's dried, dry all that, all these little bits, dry it all, then going on some of them with a bluey grey, painting at the bottom, soften off. So you're painting this white bit in really using negative painting. Then same again, let that dry, put some brown in, paint it in, soften it off, let it dry, and that's how I've got that. So now, like I say, if I do everything on here, it will be here forever, and you'll just get sick of me. So that's why I'm not been. It's too big a painting to get to for you to follow me on every single brush stroke. So I've tried to show you pretty much everything I've done. Right, now there's loads of little grasses poking through this snow now. So I'm going to stick all that in. There's loads of it coming across the front of here like this. Loads on it. So I'll put all that in. There, niceness. In there. Across there. All over the place. Loads of them. Just come up here. There's loads in here. A lot coming out top of there. Into there. There we are. Right. Niceness. Right, now a lot on it. It's coming from these bits here. From inside these shadows, and it'll be these grasses really, these what's creating these shadows. So there's a lot in there. So everywhere where these shadows is, that's where we're sticking these little sticks. Look, well, sticks, they're great big long pieces of grass. Like a grass, like a, I'm not sure what they are really, like long strawy things from my reference photo. Like, would it be like long dead grass? I think it'd be long dead grass where it's just died through winter and gone this colour. That's why it's not green. In summer this would probably all be bright green. Right, I'm just thinking now, let's go darker. Let's go darker. Wash my brush. I just want to get some bit darker in, that's better. Just a few darker blades in there. Just the bases mainly. That's nice, niceness. Especially on these closer ones where I'm wanting slightly darker. Couple back there. Something like that. There we are. Now, watch my brush again. These bits here, what's coming in front, aren't showing up very well. So, I'm going to go Designer's White Gouache. Neat. I'm just going to use it neat. Just come in and just like that, neat. This is what's called opaque. And that's because it's neat, what makes it opaque. So just across there like that. Some more. It's just because what's this? See the white? There's bits of frost on the tips of this grass. That's why we've got the white bits on there. That's a frost just on the tips of these grass. You see, that's what's giving us that white bit. There we are. It's not looking bad, is it? And then, what else we got? Let's sit back. I think we're about done. So let's stick, get me tiny little brush. That one will do. I'll stick a couple of blades in. Peter and Paul. We'll stick them in there. And put a autograph on it. There we are. It's Peter and Paul out looking for a few worms and that. Paul, we'll put a BD on it. B. And just for my younger viewers, right? A good idea to get your parents for Christmas, right? Get your parents for Christmas a list of what you want in it. See you on beach. There we are. I've done a tiny little bit more tinkering. So I got some white gouache. Just put some little water lines in there. Put a few little twigs in there with white gouache. Put a couple of bits of snow resting on a couple of them branches. Put a water line back in there. Strengthened up a few bits of that. I ended up just doing that off camera. Like I say, if I don't do bits off camera, you'd be watching for 4 hours in it. So that's it. That's the final last time that I'll say. City on beach. In it.